From Fox 55 Sports, this is The Locker Room.
So with that, welcome inside the locker room, boys and girls. He is Peter Hood, and as always, I am Justin Prince. Well, Pete, 196 days ago, when we began this journey with the locker room restarting back up, we weren't quite sure how far we'd get through the high school sports season, but here we are.
Here we are, man. It's been a crazy, bumpy road, a lot of cancellations along the way, but shout out to all the administrators and coaches and everybody that made it happen. Indeed, high school sports at this point, they've all played out to their respective state finals, of course, with the exception of boys hoops here in the state of Indiana, which began its road to Bankers Life Fieldhouse earlier this week.
Yeah, that's right. Sectional play is here, and from this point, it's win or go home. And now there's plenty of intriguing sectional matchups tonight, but we can only begin with one. And we're going to start our night in Class 4A. Sectional 5 up at East Noble. Northside and Carroll squaring off. Both teams looking to get back to the sectional final for the first time since 2018. And with that, let's get you up to the big blue pit. These two teams matching up just over a month ago. Carroll winners by 3 on their home floor, and once again, it was the Chargers striking first. They forced the turnover, and it's going to result in a fast break bucket for Cody Berkey on the other end. 15 on the night for Berkey. Carroll up 2 after a quarter of play. Legends would turn the tide, though, in the second. That's Rodney Woods right here from deep, team high 18 points, puts Northside up 3 later in the quarter. You're going to see Isaiah Moore pulling up in transition, buries a 3 of his own. He had 14. Legends take a 6-point lead to half, but the third all about Carroll. Up 3 off the miss, so this is one way to get yourself on the highlights. That's Zach Castater throwing it down. Chargers up 5 later on. Jalen Jackson, no. But Ryan Preston there for the follow. He had 20 points tonight. Carroll up 7, and from there, they just rode the back of young Mr. Jackson. You saw that bucket inside. How about one more? The talented junior scoring 19 of his game-high 26 in the second half. Carroll's off to their first sectional title game since 2018 with the 75-70 victory.
I just thought our kids, did a great job the second half, just persevering. We were down by 6 at halftime, just regrouped, refocused a little bit. Thought we had a great start to the third quarter, took control of the game.
We didn't want this to be our last game. We want to leave a legacy of a winning program, and now we have the chance to do that tomorrow night. Hopefully we play the same way we played tonight.
We worked so hard for this. We've battled through adversity. We battled with each other. We've been together all season, and with all this COVID stuff, it just feels great to be able to compete in a sectional championship tomorrow night.
Tell you what, though, that Northside team going to be a problem.
They are. They're going to be good
for years to come. Chargers, though, they'll face the winner of this game tomorrow night. Snider taking on East Noble. Prince, it's a well-known fact. If your last name is Hood, you're a bucket getter. It's just what it is.
It must be that.
It's Steve Hood, Peter Hood, and that was Chris Hood, the East Noble big man, 2-sport star, doing his thing down there.
Got Brad Miller blood.
Got Brad Miller blood, got Hood blood. He finished with 27. That bucket tied the game, but Snider, they would take control from there off the turnover. Elijah Brown
Back it up, young fella.
He had 12. Later on, Jade Moore, this team, they got shooters all over the place. Moore's one of them. He had 21. And speaking of shooters, Carson Jenkins, he is one of the best in the area at doing this. He had 21 as well. Snider led by 9 at the half. They go on to take this one 69-54. It'll be Carroll versus Snider, an all-SAC showdown tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
All right, staying in Class 4A, Sectional 6 out at Columbia City. Top-ranked Homestead squaring off with Southside. And this one, all Spartans when we pick it up. Already up big, that's Kyron Kapwicki from distance. Credit to the Archers, though. They did never give up. That's Omarion Washington matching the 3 with one of his own. But Homestead, they are just too good, Pete. Even the backups get buckets.
Yep.
Spartans cruise into the sectional final with the 74-44 victory tonight. Just another casual 30-point drubbing.
So the Spartans, they get the winner of the late game between Wayne and defending sectional champ New Haven. Bulldogs won when these two teams met back in December, and they had their way tonight. Fast break, that was Jakar Williams to Darion Brooks on the lob. Later, more from this combo. It's Williams. The pass ahead to Brooks. Darion up for the dunk. I don't know if that should have counted, but
it did.
But they counted it. 3-point play for Darion. And they can play some defense, too. Williams, please take that elsewhere.
Protect the women and children.
It's not welcome here. Dogs win 77-63. It'll be a rematch of last year's sectional final tomorrow night at 7:30.
All right, Final 4A stop comes at Elkhart. The host Lions taking on NLC champ Warsaw tonight. So in this one, back and forth all game. Here's Elkhart's Cameron Daniels to the cup. Later on, Donovan Johnson, pull-up Jimmy, gives the Lions the lead, but Warsaw has an answer. That's Brock Poe inside for the bucket. Then, the student section loves that. You're going to see Jackson Gold. Banks open late in Elkhart. Unfortunately, though, the Lions, they come out on top tonight in this one, 59-57. Warsaw's season comes to a close.
All right, bump down to Class 3A. Sectional 21 at West Noble. We got an all-NECC semifinal in the early game. Lakeland takes on the host Chargers. West Noble beat Lakeland by just 4 in the regular season, so, Prince, you knew this would be a good game.
Yep.
Mason Douglas couldn't miss early for Lakeland. You saw him knock one down from deep. Moments later, Chargers lose him for just a split second. And my man doesn't hesitate. Douglas scores the Lakers' first 8 points of the game. He finished with 17, but West Noble, they were clicking offensively early on in this one as well. Here, Julio Macias beats Zach Beers, and Prince, you got to be 21 or older to play with Beers under the rim. That's grown man stuff right there. Later in the first, Beers can't get this one to go. Macias there to clean it up. 10 points on the night for him. West Noble goes on to win 61-53. Your final, and they will take on tomorrow night Northwood. Second game of West Noble tonight. Wawasee falls 47-46 against Northwood. It'll be the Panthers versus the Chargers at West Noble tomorrow night.
Over at Woodland, Sectional 22, Class 3A, Bishop Dwenger taking on Concordia in game 1. It was tights all the way. Early in the third, Dwenger up 2. St. Sharpshooter Sam Campbell says, hey, let's make it 5. 3 of his team eyes, 16, but Concordia responds immediately. Ajani Washington, the full length of the court, gets the layup to go. Deficit down to 3 a little later on. Dwenger showing why fundamentals are important. You got to box out. You got to box out. That was Xavier Allen for the rebound and the putback. Saints back up 2. Cadets, though, keeping things close. Sam Amick, the dish to Washington for the reverse layup. But Dwenger just too much to handle tonight. They pull away in the fourth with the help of young Brendan Lytle. Dude is just fun to watch. Doesn't matter what sport he plays. Dwenger advances 66-57.
All right, in game 2 at Woodland, Leo facing Bishop Lures. This was a great game when they played last year in sectionals. It was a great game again tonight. Nayland Thompson, game high 36 points tonight, Prince. That puts Lures up by 4 early on. Lions, though, not going anywhere. In transition, Blake Davidson to Xavier Middleton. 2 of Middleton's 15 points on the night. Lures, this game was back and forth all night. Good vision here by Braden McInturf to a wide-open Lucas North. The St. Francis baseball commit keeps the lead at 4. But Leo, they just kept on coming. And Blake Davison was a big reason why. He had a team-high 32 of his own. Lions go on to win in overtime, 76-70. They'll take on Dwenger tomorrow night.
Some high scores in that one. How about sectional 23 for you down at Mississinawa? Heritage, their season comes to a close. They fall to Ole Miss 76-61. And the Indians are going to face Belmont tomorrow, who edged Norwell tonight 57-56 in OT.
All right, in Class 2A, we got ourselves a showdown in Sectional 35. 2A number 15 Churubusco taking on rival Central Noble. Cougars ranked 3rd in the state, riding a 22-game winning streak coming in. And CN's all-time leading scorer got going early. Connor Asijan, you saw him drop the long 2. Moments later, off the steal, it's showtime for Asijan.
Bam.
Two-handed rim rock puts the Cougars up by 3. Quiet night, though, for Asijan. He had just 13, and the Eagles taking advantage.
I was going to say, bodes well for other teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Landon Jordan, he had 10 on the night. This was the guy that stole the show, though. Jackson Paul, splitting the defense. You're going to see him lay it in with the left. Game high 26 for Paul as Busco goes on to win 45-40. Your final. Eagles will try for back-to-back sectional titles tomorrow night.
And we will have an all-NECC final up at Westview tomorrow night, or will we, I should say. Eastside's got to beat Bremen in order to make it happen, and that wouldn't be an issue for the Blazers. Eastside led by just 6 at half, but starting to pull away when we pick it up third quarter. That was Hugh Henderson floating one home, extends the Eastside lead to 8. Later on, Gabe Trevino gets good position inside. Nice speed sets up Trevino for 2 of his team-high 13. Blazers up a dozen after 3. Yeah, keep your popcorn ready, folks. And they kept their foot on the gas in the 4th. In transition, Trevino to Owen Willard. Willard wets one from downtown. Blazers up 15. A few minutes later, more from Willard. This time, the junior puts it on the deck, finishes the floater. That's pretty basketball, folks. 13 points for Willard. Eastside punches its ticket to the tomorrow night's title game, 50-34 your final.
Eastside Busco, that'll be a good one.
Sure will.
Elsewhere in Class 2A, this was not a good one. I'm going to be honest. Top-ranked Blackhawk Christian taking on Whitco in the early game at Bluffton, and this one was out of hand by the time our guy Jake Thomas showed up. You see Kayla First and Zane Burke, they're chilling on the bench. Meanwhile, Gage Sefton, he's still out there knocking down threes. And then moments later, it's the first of the future Prince.
I like the writing.
Caleb's little brother, Josh First. You're going to see him finish at the rim here off the dump-off. Nicely done. Braves roll again, 78-39 your final. Blackhawk will go for their 4th straight sectional title tomorrow night.
So who gets the pleasure of playing the Braves in Saturday's championship game, you ask? Well, it'll either be the Adams Central Flying Jets or the Canterbury Cavaliers, and it's AC taking the lead early in the first quarter. Brayson Yergler kicks out to a wide-open Ethan Poling. Triple try pure for Poling. He finishes with a game-high 20, but make no mistake, Will Shank was the best player on the floor tonight. He can be a lot of nights, too, Pete. You see Shank stealing, stumbling, scoring right there. Later in the first, more from the smooth lefty.
Scores it easy.
Yes, he does.
It just looks easy for him out there sometimes.
Some lefties just have the purest strokes,
It looks cooler when you're left-handed.
It really does.
Yeah.
Pull-up jumper, team-high 17 for Shank. Cavs, they cruise past AC into the sectional final, 51-38 your final.
All right, a few 1A scores to get to now. Elkhart Christian tops Bethany Christian 70-61 in overtime. They will take on Fremont tomorrow night. Eagles beat Lakewood Park 60-44.
And in sectional 53 at North Miami, Southwood all over the hosts tonight. 93-19. They're going to face Lakeland Christian in the sectional final tomorrow. LCA topping Northfield 60-47.
And finally, our lone stop in Ohio, Division IV district finals between Antwerp and Toledo Christian. Not a lot of scoring, all tied at 20 with under 10 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Jagger Landers.
Cool name. Love it.
Step back. Let's go home. Beats the buzzer. Archers go up 3, and Antwerp is regional bound once again with that is the correct score, folks. 23-20, your final.
Wow, talk about low scoring. We've seen some low scoring.
That takes it to a whole nother level.
That is low scoring.
Yep.
And how about time for your play of the night? We're going to go back up to the Big Blue Pit, and that was Zach Castater with the exclamation points on the night for the Chargers. Rim rocking with the one hand. Chargers are going to play for a sectional title tomorrow against Snider in an all-SAC showdown up there.
Carroll, more athletic than you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Castater, obviously you saw him.
Ryan
Preston's got like a
Preston's.
47-inch vertical. Obviously we see Jalen Jackson.
Yeah.
Real quick, sectional championship game you're most looking forward to tomorrow. What is it?
I think I've got to say Homestead, New Haven, simply because of the rematch from last year, and you know Homestead's going to be looking for a little bit of blood. Meanwhile, I think New Haven's just one of those teams that it seems like they've improved a lot throughout the year. And, you know, they lost a lot of scoring from a year ago. They've improved a lot, so who knows? We'll see what happens.
Busco Eastside will be interesting.
Yep.
Busco beat them by 1, I think, just 1 week ago.
Yeah.
Or was it 2 weeks ago?
I think 1 week ago.
It was in the last couple weeks. It was a 1-point game. They play again tomorrow. That'll be a really fun one up at Westview.
Sure will.